Hello everyone, welcome to BISP Solutions. In this video, we are going to see a fast formula for the salary adjustment. Uh, let's move ahead and let's see the purpose. So the purpose of this task is to implement a fast formula that automatically adjusts key salary component, which are which will be basic salary, transport allowance, accommodation allowance, and responsibility allowance by a predefined percentage increment each year. So this percentage will be provided by the user. This formula ensures that employee receives annual salary adjustment based on their tenure and organization compensation policy, promoting a fair and structured approach to progression. The formula must check two critical conditions. So there will be two conditions we'll be uh, applying onto our fast formula. First is the adjustment is applied on the first of January each year, and the employee must have completed at least 1 years of continuous service by the date of qualify for the increase. Okay, let's consider a scenario. So consider an organization where compensation packages are reviewed annually to reward employee loyalty and experience. As part of this process, every January, salary component such as basic salary, transport allowance, accommodation allowance, and responsibility allowance are increased by a set percentage. For example, 2.5%. However, not all employees are eligible for the increase. For the salary adjustment to be applied, the employee must have completed 1 full year of service by January 1st. For instance, if an employee joined on February 15th, 2023, they must not be eligible for the adjustment on January 1, 2024, but they would qualify for it on January 1, 2025. This fast formula helps streamline the process by automating the salary adjustment based on these criteria, reducing manual intervention and ensuring that only eligible employee benefit from the increase. This ensures accurate payroll processing and align with the organization long-term salary progression and retention strategy. So, what are the things we uh, are required? So, first of all, we'll create four elements, which is for basic salary, transport allowance, uh, accommodation allowance, responsibility allowance. For this example, we are going to create two elements, which will be for the basic salary and the transport allowance. The and for each element, we'll create the fast formula, which will be of type element input validation, and the DBIs which are required will be uh, per person enterprise hire date. This from where we'll fetch the hire date of an employee. The second thing is element P value. So the input this will be okay. So let me come to our instance and let's first create the element. So we'll navigate to my client group, then compensation. And if we scroll to the bottom, you'll see under common configurations, you will see benefit panel. Oh, sorry, elements. So we'll click on elements and let's click on add button to create the element. Let me take US legislative data group as the LDG. the primary classification, since we are creating a basic salary, let's take standard earning, and category will be standard. Let me click on continue. Uh, let's provide the name basic salary. Salary. Earliest entry date will be our first standard earning date, and the latest entry date will be last standard earning date. Let me change the effective date as well, 1101, and let's click on continue next. Then what is the default periodicity of this element? Let's take it uh, calendar month, then periodicity will be standard rate analyzed. Just everything seems fine. Let's click on next and then submit. This will create our element for basic salary. Let's wait for some times, and uh, this will take some time to create an element. Till then, let me click on OK, and let's create another element till this element is created. So if you see here, the status is in progress. So this element is being created. Let me create the element for transport as well. So transport allowance will come under non-payment, non-payroll payments. Category will be standard, and let me click on continue. We'll do the same. Transport allowance, copy, and let me paste it. Change the effective date, same as standard, last standard earning date. Next, calendar month, periodicity will be standard rate analyzed. Let me click on next and then submit. Mm, okay, let me click on OK, and now I'll work with our basic salary. Okay, still it is in progress. Uh, Let me go back and come to this page again, element page. Uh, Here it is. And let me search for the element. The LDJ is US, and our element has been created. Let me go to actions and edit. Let me keep the effective date same as this one. Okay. To use this element anyway, we first need to create the element eligibility. So if you see uh, element overview, and inside that, you will find under input values, you will find element eligibility. Okay, so I'll click on element eligibility, then action and create element eligibility. Let me keep the name same, basic salary, element eligibility. Mm, okay, so our element eligibility has been created. Now we can use this element into our element entries. So now, since we are going to uh, provide the percentage, uh, manually. So let's create an input for the percentage. So I'll click on input values and then create input values, then percentage, and the display sequence, I want it after the pay value in place of amount. So I'll take, provide this 5. Let's provide the special purpose, which will be percentage. Then unit of measure will be number, and we want to display it, and user should be allowed to enter, and this is required. It is your wish if you want to create a database item for the this mm, let's create a database item for this as well. Let me click on save and then submit. Okay, so we are almost done with this creating the element. We have created our element eligibility, and the second thing we did is we added a percentage input value. The last thing which is remaining, we need to attach our uh, fast formula. So once we are done with writing our fast formula, we will attach our fast formula into the element. Now let's go to this transport allowance to do the same thing. Okay, so this is our transport allowance. And let me click on edit and change the date. Let's create the element eligibility. Uh, create element eligibility. Uh, transport allowance element eligibility. Let me click on save and let's create the percentage input values again. Percentage 5. Special purpose is percentage. Uh, let's allowed, required, and create a database item. Let me click on submit, and we are done with this second element as well. Now let's go to our pass formula and let's create a pass formula for that. Okay, I'll click on add button. Then let me provide the name for the element. Oh, sorry, pass formula, which I'm going to keep the same name as the element. So this will be our basic salary pass formula. And the type, which is very crucial to take, is element input validation. Uh, we need to select we need to keep the LDG same as US LDG. So I'll select US LDG. Then effective start date will be 1101. And we are on to our uh, formula text editor. So the first thing we do is we provide the basic information about the pass formula. So first thing is name, basic salary, sal salary pass formula, and the type for this is element input validation. Let's provide a description as well. Description. So this formula is used to increase the basic salary annually by annually by uh, some percentage. Okay. Let's take the TBIs first. So TBIs. Okay. So first we'll take the DBI for per person enterprise hire date. So this will be the hire date for the person. Let's default this with 1900s 01 and 01. And let's mention that it is date. Let's take the entry value for the mm, element. Okay, so our element is basic salary. Basic salary. Uh, the value assignment entry value. This will be our integer, so we'll default it with 0. Let me zoom it a bit. Okay. Now let's take the inputs we are going to use. So inputs are, the first one is amount and the second one is pay value, and yeah, and percentage also. Okay. Let me take the effective date. So this will be used to change the context for uh, date earned, and we are going to calculate the this high date, days between this high date and effective date, to find out, to fulfill our second condition, which will be if the person is greater than working more than a year. So let's get the context, which is effective date, and let me default this as well. So effective date 1900 01 and this is a date. Now let's first change the context for uh, data date or and effective date. Sorry, it's not date, it's L effective. Okay, so mm, okay, so we have changed the context for the date earned, and we have assigned the effective date as date earned. Let's Let me do one thing. Is our uh, percentage input will be is a number. So let's convert it into a to into percentage. So I'll take percentage percentage variable, and whatever the value coming from the input percentage, we'll simply divide it by 100 to find out the percentage. You can do that inside the formula, but it is good if we keep it separately. So let's start writing our logic. So if uh, if to char, what we'll do, we'll get the system date. So get sys date is a function to get the system date, and let me change the format of that to dd mm and yyyy. Sorry, yyyy. And if this system date is equal to uh, so the our condition is 1st of January, right? So 10101, and I'll concatenate with, again I'll copy this, and this time we are only going to take the year part. Okay, so if this condition satisfy, and let's go for the another condition. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to use another method, which is days between and days between L effective, and let me copy this DPI, which is per person enterprise hire date. So if days between effective date and hire date is greater than 365, so that will be a year. If the greater than 365, then we are going to write some logic. We are going to do our calculation. Where is the cursor? Okay, this. Okay, so if both the conditions satisfy, then we are going to make our uh, amount as pay value plus, and then we are going to increment our amount value. So pay value multiplied by L L K percentage. Okay, so this we will convert our yeah, we'll convert our L percentage, sorry, amount to the and increase the P value with that. And one thing we need to do, we need to round our final output to two decimal places. Or else, if this condition doesn't satisfy, then we are going to do one thing. Then we are going to uh, keep our P value same as amount. Let's return then amount and pay value. Okay, so I'll click on save, submit. Uh, Let me just compare this. Hmm, okay, line number 20 is local. Let me, okay, let me edit that. Basic salary. This is our fast formula. Let me click on edit and let's check line number 20. Uh, it is between and effective date. Let me copy this and paste it onto the notepad. Okay, so let's copy this. This is okay. And okay, where is the local variable used? It is between L effective date. L percentage amount. Hmm, let me save it again and let's compile it once again. Hmm, okay. Line 20. Local variable was used before being initialized. Hmm, so okay, so in here, this there is a spelling mistake. Let me cross check this DBA. I'll search it over here. Let's see if this is a database item. Okay, so now this is a database item. That's That is why we have initialized, but there was a spelling mistake, so it was throwing that error. Let me save it and so let's submit, and let me just compile this formula, and hopefully this time it will get compiled. Okay, let me copy this entire formula, and what I'll do, I'll create another formula with this, and for the transport allowance, and same element input validation. Let me take the USDG 1101. I'll paste the entire formula over here. I'll only change the name for this. This will be pass formula. Let me change the, okay. Let me paste the formula over here, and let me change the name of this formula. And the name will be transport allowance. Let me remove this. Save, submit, and compile. Okay, so our formula has been created for both the element. Let's go to the element and attach this formula to those element. So I'll again navigate to our element page, common configurations, elements, and let me search for basic salary first. The LDJ's US. I'll open this, and onto the element level, I'll click on edit. Let me first change the effective date as. Okay, let me click on correct. And if we scroll down and you come to this option, which is default entry values and validation, below that you will see calculation formula. So we'll attach our formula for the basic salary to this field, and let me click on save and then submit. Okay, let's do the same for the transport allowance element. Transport allowance allowance. Okay, let me open this, change the effective date, and let me click on edit. Calculation, transport allowance, fast formula, save, and submit. Okay, now let's go to person management, and let's attach these two elements to a person. So let me search for the person, search, in the actions, we'll go to payroll, element entries, and let me attach all elements. So first element will be basic salary. Click on continue. Uh, Let me provide mm, pay value as 500 and mm, pay value as 500 and let me okay, add the percentage as 5%. Let's I'll click on save and mm, okay, we need to initialize amount instead of pay value. Okay, so let me click on save. Now our p value has been changed based on the amount. Okay, let me duplicate this. So let's check our uh, this. Uh, okay, so if we need to check if this 5% is applied to our amount value. So for that, we'll navigate to our fast formula. So my client group compensation, then fast formula, and the basic salary US. And this is our fast formula. Let me click on edit and we'll change this our current date to 17/0 today's date. Let me click on save. Mhm. Save, submit, and compile. Let me refresh it. Uh, let's wait for this formula to get compiled. Uh, Now let me again do one thing is update it. Uh, okay, let's come back again to this formula. I'll click on edit. Now this time will not do anything. We'll simply click on save. Now, okay, the calculation has been done based on the date. Okay, the same thing will be applied to the second uh, transport allowance element. If we change the amount to let me provide 100 and 2%, simply click on save. Okay, I'll go back and search for transport transport allowance and let me change the date for this also for today's submit and compile. Fresh. Okay. Let me click on it. update, and this is for the basic salary. I'm sorry. Uh, this is our transport allowance element. Let me click on edit and let's simply save it. Now our amount value has been increased with uh, 2%. Let's suppose if we again update this, what it will do, it will not further update your amount. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching the session. We'll meet in the next video with some more cases. Thank you so much.